So the other night I was watching a girl on here, and she was talking about One Piece and how she didn't really know anything about Zoro's backstory. Like, she didn't know where he came from, and it got me to thinking that she was right. I didn't really think too much on it because, you know, he showed up to the dojo, said, I want to whoop everybody here. And the daughter of the dojo master was like, who are you gonna beat? So we got that, but we really didn't get very much else into it. And again, it was one of those things I didn't really think about. Same thing with Sanji. When they did his little backstory, when they first, met them, every original, like the first ones that we met, members of the Straw Hats, they all had an arc. They all had like a little backstory to kind of let us get to know who, is joining the crew and everything. But Zoro, not so much. And then we come to find out later on, Sanji had two backstories. We met him in the beginning, right at the very, very beginning, trying to get him to come with us. And then and then when we get to Big Mom Island, or that arc, we find out he's a whole, assassin, a family of assassins or something, and he was basically the runt and abused, and that's why he left and joined that cruise ship and became a chef, and then we learned more about Sanji in Big Mom's arc. So he got two shots, but Zoro, not so much. We just learned that it was a kid showed up at a dojo and then started training there, and how he got the 3-sword style. We learned that, but where's his mom and dad? Where's his mom and dad? Do we learn that in Wano? Because like I said, I took a break from One Piece. It was a lot, and unfortunately adulting took over. So I've taken a break once we've hit Wano Island. So do we learn that in that arc? I know it's behind, and I'm sure they've already left Wano at this point, but that's where I'm at, and I'm not very deep in it. So I'm just curious, where is his parents at? And the fact that he had swords and everything else, he's the only Japanese member of, the Straw Hat Pirates. So it's kind of understandable why he would be the one with swords and walking around with swords, and it's not seeming out of place. Because contrary to popular belief, every member of the Straw Hat Pirates are from a different ethnicity. Doesn't matter. So when the live action came out, I like that they actually made a point to reference that, because every single one of them are from a different ethnicity, from a different part of the country. So I did like that about the live action. But again, does anyone know if at some point do they talk about Zoro's backstory, where he came from? Because that's the one person who didn't really get an arc on explaining where he came from. Nami got one. Usopp, we know who his dad was. Yasopp, they it's kind of hard to miss the nose and everything else. We got one for Chopper, Frankie. We've learned how Brook became a skeleton, and that the whale, how that all tied together. But you don't really get much on Zoro. So that was interesting. Does anyone know?